Hey guys, just a short video today about Magic Find with Skeletal Reavers. So, as you may be aware, Magic Find has been a hot topic recently, and rightfully so, as it turns out it's incredibly strong in its current state in Path of Exile 2. For those of you who don't know how it works, Magic Find, also known as increased rarity of items found on gear, improves the items you loot. It rolls better rares, it rolls more uniques, but probably most importantly, it affects currency drops as well. For example, it can upgrade your Exalted Orb into a Divine Orb, it can upgrade your, Orb of Transmutation into an Exalted Orb, etc. Obviously, it means you generate a lot more currency overall. Now, to fit in Magic Find on your gear, you have to give up some of the affix, which means only the strongest builds in the game can run Magic Find effectively without giving up too much power. Thankfully, Skeletal Reavers are one of those builds who can fit in quite a bit of item find. And personally, without going too crazy, I was able to turn my Skeletal Reavers into a 245% Magic Find build at a cost of around 5 Divines. Obviously, you can push that a lot higher. There are builds with like 600% increased rarity, but at that point, you really need to invest a lot of money. And I don't know whether Reavers could manage that kind of level of item rarity without being too weak anyway. So I think you should be aiming for somewhere between 200 to 300% Magic Find. By the way, 2 hours after upgrading to this Magic Find variant, which I paid 5 Divines for, I managed to loot a 50 Divine flask from an expedition logbook. So safe to say, at least for me, the transition quickly paid for itself very, very quickly. Anyway, if you're interested and would like to give Magic Find a go, I'm going to walk you through the couple simple steps I took to transition my build to a Magic Find one. One word of warning though, the upgrade does make you somewhat weaker. Not loads, but obviously you give up a few affixes here and there, which means that probably you're about 10 to 15% weaker or so. So my personal recommendation is that if you can very comfortably clear like T16s upwards, including bosses, then you are probably strong enough that you could consider upgrading to a Magic Find variant. If you cannot clear T16s and Citadels comfortably, you are probably still a little bit too weak to handle it, and you should instead focus on upgrading your core build first, and then you can think about fitting in some Magic Find. Anyway, let's get into it. So what did I do? First of all, the one big major change is upgrading the Oaksworn shield to a rare shield with as much elemental res as possible. This frees up loads of affixes on your other gear, allowing you to aim for rarity on your other pieces. And shields cannot roll rarity anyway, so we're not actually losing anything in here by focusing on the res. And losing the benefits of the unique shield is not that big a deal. Once you've done that, you should upgrade your gloves, boots, helmet, rings, and amulet for all of them to have increased rarity of items found. The goal is to aim for about 50%. You get that through having both a prefix and a suffix item rarity. They roll up to like usually about 25, 26, 27%. So you can usually have, so you can aim for about 50%. Obviously, while doing that, you should still stay resistance is capped and have the necessary attributes to run the build. So, you will still have to pick up some reses here and there. And you cannot roll item rarity on your scepter, shield, body armor, or belt. So those 4 pieces is where you really want to, make them as strong as possible for the Skeletal Reaver build and get as many resistances and life and stuff like that as possible, as that's where most of our power will come from, while all the other pieces will focus on the item rarity. And honestly, that's it. That's all you need to do. That's all I did. No further changes necessary. And like I said, I was able to pay about 5 Divines total and have a 245% rarity build. You should be aiming for at least 200% rarity to actually feel the difference. And you definitely will start noticing. I noticed it almost immediately. And like I said, it cost me about 5 Divines and it paid for itself within about 2 to 3 hours, even discounting that lucky flask drop. I could immediately, see higher drops in my map. So it definitely is very strong right now. And obviously, no promises on how long this will stay viable, as GGG could well nerf it tomorrow. But I would suggest to make the most of it while it lasts, because it's very, very strong. And at least in the Skeletal Reavers case, it's very easy to transition into it if you're already strong enough. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. That's all I wanted to talk about today. Any questions, let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.